Hello everyone and welcome for another video of Love and War Games. In this video, as you can see, we will have a very special box which is the Independence Battlefleet Set. And why is it special? Apart from having at long last the John Henry robot for the Union, it's also the first time we have a box with only one sprue of each type, and there is going to be literally one sprue of every single type available to the Union. So let's turn it around and have a look at what we get. We do get, as you can see, a ton of special variations of units, and as you can see, there is a lot of variations, and we get a little bit of everything. So of course we have, as always, a little resin ship which looks amazing, and we get, for example, one submarine, one destroyer, one robot, etc, etc. So there is really a little bit of everything. So we will have a look around what we're getting. I'm especially excited to get this giant robot, though I'm really looking forward as well for the Independence itself and the Frontier variation that you can have. So really a lot of variety up there. We're going to have quite some time to have a look inside what there is. If you like this type of content, as always, give us a like. It always helps a lot. And also, if you put a comment, you gain a chance to win a whole battle fleet, so a lot of ships for the Russians, for the Commonwealth, and you can play them also as the Black Wolf. All right, without further ado, let's open the box, and do stay until the end because we will make some size comparisons with the Union ships so you can see really what they look like. Okay, here we go. There is the box. So what do we get inside? First thing, as always, that we see are the many token support that you can use. You need to glue things on them, and they can be SLS token, mines, or in this case we can have some helicopters like the Talon autogyros. So of course we have a few of them, especially because there is a variant for the Independence which is a battle carrier, which means basically a large aircraft carrier. We have the Independence itself. We will take a look at it at the end. And first, let's start with the sprues. Okay, so those that play Union will recognize it instantly because it has an Acron rotor. So these amazing looking little gyros. So it means it's their Frontline Sprues. And those I really like it looks amazing. It looks a little bit like this big ship in Avatar. It also reminds me a lot of like a Dwarven Gyrocopter. Just love this ship. It used to be not so good like at all, and in the latest rework, the 3.04, it's now very cheap. You can really have a horde of those, and they look quite cheap to make. Like it's not a battleship or anything, and you can have a lot of them. They're very fast, and they do play their role well. So okay, what do we have here? With this sprue, we can make Acron, as we said. You're supposed to be able to make as well as some of the smaller frigates, those which are the Farraguts. You can make 2 of those. And you can also make one cruiser. So the basic cruiser, I will show you in a second. You have also some generators. The Union does not have any type of special generator. What they do have is this very cool gun battery right here. I really love it. It really does look like a little revolver with, you can see the shells on the side. I like it. I also really like their rocket batteries. If you can see, but they have this little protection here, and they really look like they throw salvos like vertical and then they go horizontally. I just love the Union in general. Probably one of my favorite faction design-wise. So as I was saying, you can have some Farraguts in there. The Farraguts are going to be looking like this. They're basic, fast, but actually quite lethal frigates. And they're quite lethal because you can give them hell, the special rule for the Union, which means that their small gun battery, which is still 5.3 as a value, so reasonable, can have devastating, and this changes everything. You can really do a lot of damage, especially if they are also at close range, like at point blank for their broadside. It means the broadside as well will have a devastating, combined with the reroll of the blues from the broadside, like the fusillade rule. That is going to be a lot of damage. If you've seen some of our battle reports with some Farragut frigates, as you can see, they can actually literally sink a battleship if there is a large pack of them in a single activation. You can also get, as I was saying, some cruisers. So this is actually the smallest cruiser that you can build. I think it's called the Intrepid, or it's the Reliant. The Reliant monitor is the smallest cruiser that you can make. It's extremely point efficient. It's very cheap, quite tough, and again, I would recommend putting some heavy gun battery there. And since it has Give Them Hell, it's always really efficient. Or you can just go all out and make the largest version that you want. So 2 frontal heavy slots and 1 small gun battery to the rear. This is the Lexington Heavy Cruiser. Again, quite an efficient ship. And now there's been this named variant of 3 Lexingtons for a while, which is called the Dead President. You need 3 Lexingtons. And it's just becoming better and better. At first it was really expensive for what it does, and now you can even put it in a pipework battle fleet and give everybody heavy electro cannons, so the special cannons of the unit, which is actually not there. We'll talk about it in a second where they are. And 3 Lexingtons as Dead Presidents in the red battle fleet to get sustained with heavy electro cannons everywhere. Damn, that's going to be amazing. It's extremely expensive. They're really glass cannon, even though they get shield generators and stuff. But damn, there's gonna be so much firepower. So you get only 1 possible Lexington in this box, because as we said, only 1 sprue of each. But then you just need to buy another box, like just a little Frontline Squadron or the starter set, etc. Which means you will be able to make 3 of these Frontline cruisers. You can make 3 Lexingtons. Really not the worst idea to do. All the variants are good. The Yorktown is very good basic cruiser, just the 2 front slots. The Reliant, as I said, is very point efficient. If you get only 1 ship out of the whole box for this, and you're never gonna have other front lines, maybe put a Yorktown. It's a good like beast of burden, can do everything. But if you know you're gonna have at least 1 other box where there's 2 Frontline Sprues, so the starters, the Constitution Battlefleet Set, this kind of thing, I would highly recommend to prepare to at least have 3 Lexingtons. Yes, it's expensive, but it can boost you to 2,000 points easily, and the Dead President looks like such a cool unit to play. And finally, I was saying that I would show you all the units possible. As you can see, this little gyrocopter, I'm sorry, it's not called a gyrocopter, but I will always call it like this, looks like this once you put it on the base. So as you can see, it's quite high above the skies. You can use it either an escort, so it gives some bonus to the unit that it is escorting, so quite good, especially with the Washington missile cruisers we'll see later. But also just on its own, you can make a pack of 8 of them, I think, which is just gonna be like the flight of the Valkyrie. If you want to focus, please, yeah. And just a ton of those, and the last thing they need is to be like, what is the name, landing vessel, like a troop carrier, and that's gonna be amazing. Like, I just want to have the flight of the Valkyrie of those guys, just landing and dropping 1 tank and a couple squads, and it's gonna be so good. I just love this design. Then we get some flight stands. We will need that, of course, for the Akron gyrocopter that we've just seen, also for the John Henry, the next upcoming large robot, and also for these little Patriots that we'll see in a second, I think. Then we switch to the War Veterans Squadron. So those guys are, have been seen the first time in the Columbia Battlefleet set. And they are those that fought during the Oro War. So they are older class of vessels. And as you can see, you still have the Union weapons, but you also get some weapons for the Alliance, because those ships can be used, this sprue can be used for the Union and for the Alliance. Quite interesting. And as you can see, you have even the small gun battery of the Union, and the same for the Alliance. And as you will see later, on my Alliance ships, I used, on my Saratogas, for example, I used the Alliance gun battery because I think they look just much better. Oh, come on, even the Alliance heavy gun battery look very good. So what you can do with those, as you can see, there is a little SRS token, and you might wonder, like, why? Is there aircraft carrier in there? Well, kinda. There is indeed this Saratoga, as we said, and there is an option. So this is a main cruiser you can make with these sprues, and there are a few versions. You can have a landing vessel here. There's different variations, and one of the best variations, I think, is when you put a little, landing pad there for the Thailand auto gyros, and then you use this little token, and then you use this little token there. And you have these little gyros, and you use it, you put all your Marines inside, and you can make boarding actions on the enemy ships. So you just have this little auto gyros going out and just landing on the enemy vessel, and that's just such a cool concept. So I love my little Saratogas, I love these ships, and yeah, I need more, I always need more, so I'm very happy to have this box. Another thing that you will have in this box is those little guy, so little escort ships. Absolutely loving, like a lovely escort ships, I love those. When you paint them, they look like this. So they are not really ships, they're like a little escort, like patrol boat that you put around, but they boost your defense against torpedoes, against air attack. They have a little machine gun in the front, and they can also help you to make stronger boarding actions, which is not usually what you want to do with the Saratogas, for example, because their boarding action is stronger with their tail and auto gyros. But if you put them in escort of, for example, a Columbia, then it's a really good idea to put some escort around. So just, I love escorts in general in this game. They're very cheap. They add a lot on the table. Like you really have this feeling of having a whole fleet on the table and not just a couple of battleships. And they just look good. And the last thing that you will get from this little sprue, you can see some bits here, is this. This is the Springfield Corvette, and as I said, I put Alliance small gun batteries because I think they look better. And those, they go 4x4. They're less efficient than the Farraguts, but they cost less. Those are meant to be also like, kind of like escort units. You can attach them to a battleship, like a flagship more specifically, and each Springfield will give you +1 defense in a bubble around himself, thanks to Corvette duty rule. So when you have a lot of escorts and Springfield corvettes, you will start to have a battleship that will really be difficult to breach, either through rocket attacks or air attacks or torpedoes, etc. You can see this in one of our latest battle report, Breaching the Blockade, where I play Columbia with all the Springfields and their escorts. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this sprue. Then we get some of those stands. As you can see, you need stands for your air units. Good that you need at least 4. You're supposed to need 5 actually. Yeah, but there is a larger one for the John Henry. So those are for the Acrons and the Patriots. Talking about the Patriots, they're supposed to be here, aren't they? Yes, this is the support sprues. So as you can see, there are quite a few things there as well. You do have the little air token because there is a literal aircraft carrier that you can build, very good. The Patriots, so the robots, and the main ship that you have here, you can build it in a few different variants, especially like an electric ship and a missile ship. So the first thing that I will show are the Patriots. The Patriots are these little flying ships. They have a lot of modularity. You can really pose them differently. So they have a few weapons. Where are the weapons? They are here, for example. This is the Gatling. You also have some electro cannons. So this version, for example, has the electro cannons. If you build them, if you put them in a pipework battle fleet, I would recommend giving them the electro cannons. It gives them sustained, so it makes them quite good. And you can also give them Gatling guns. And as you can see, you can repose them in a few different ways. And the Gatlings are better, I think, if you don't put them in the pipework battle fleet. So yeah, you can really choose, but if you like, don't feel too straight. Like the damage output is quite similar anyhow. So you can put whatever you think looks better, or you can just proxy them. And usually you will have one big pack of Patriots, and you can say they are one or the other. And I really like those designs. Fluff-wise, those are automatas, so they're robots. And they're some of the largest automatas ever. And I don't know if you realize the scale of this thing, but this thing, like imagine this is the cockpit, this thing is big as an Imperial Knight or a Titan in the grim future. So it's really huge to be like just a robot controlled by circuits. And just love these units, they're very efficient. So as I was saying, you can make other types of cruisers. The first version is very easy to magnetize and to just switch. You can have this aircraft carrier, the Roanoke. If you have 3 Roanokes, you have a special version that you can have for the pipework, but I would not recommend it. It's not so efficient right now. You can just glue, like it's moving here because I'm playing with it, but when it's when it is on the table, it doesn't move anymore. So the Roanoke, quite a cool, modern looking, I would say here, aircraft carrier, a fine ship. More interesting, however, is going to be the Discovery cruiser. So this is the guy where you put the electro cannon in front. I will just show you what the electro cannon looks like. There is the electro cannon right there that you can put. So as you can see, it looks like a heavy gun battery, but it's more like electric powered. Love those little cannons, they look always very cool. It got a boost in the latest version. It was already quite strong, this ship actually, but it got even boosted at longer range. And it got a price decrease. Like, it's really good ship. The Discovery now, I would highly recommend it. And one that got a nerf, unfortunately, but it was so powerful before, is this, the Washington missile cruiser. And so it has like extreme range firepower if you attach an Acron. It got a little point bump, and yeah, it's a little bit less efficient now, and you really need to invest in buffs around to really put it to maximum. Yeah, they don't, yeah, you should glue, like, magnetize them at some point, but really when they're on the table they're fine. Yeah, it's a little bit less efficient now, the Washingtons, but if you really need to invest. You cannot just put one on the table and be like, okay, do your thing on your own, because it will run out eventually of munition. It will not have the good boost, it will not have the good range, not good. But if you boost it really well, a pack of 2 or 3 with support, with spotters, etc., it's really going to devastate anything in range. And of course, you will have those little token. So those little guys are directly inside, so that's what you get. And I recommend getting some historical little metallic planes, so you can just put them on top, and it makes a little bit more detail, and you can have fun. It looks, I think, better on the table. But otherwise, you can just put those 3 that are on the ground, you paint them, and it looks good. There are the large bases, a plural, because I think they go 2 by 2, they cannot go single one. So this is what you need for the John Henry, and you'll have an extra base in reserve, always good. And finally, the Advanced Squadron Sprue. Oh, there was something falling down. So, all right, this is brand new. This is why we are here. We can see there is still more Acrons. I don't mind at all. I love Acrons. What do we have? We have some SRS tokens there. I wonder why. I don't think any ship in this can have. I can send those. Okay, we'll think in a second. We have this platform that is interesting. It's the Frontier platform. It will be needed to build one of the variants of the Independent that we will see later. And yeah, it's a kind of like a custom platform. We've seen platforms already on the channel, and this is like a Union specific one. And as you can see, there is a little helipad there, because you can, from the Frontier platform, send those little tokens, which are the Talon autogyros once they are built. So that is always good to have them here. All right, next we have the Cheyenne submarine. So this little guy right there. It's also a drone, and because there are no pilots inside. And the fun thing is, like, you can actually make it explode when you have at least 2 of them, which will not be possible with this box because you have only 1. And then for each 2 submarine that are cheap that you make explode, you cause catastrophic explosion around. Quite cool. Do note that those mass ones, so this guy, and there is supposed to be as well, a fast destroyer there. They were supposed in the old orbit to be played like at least 2, like all the other mass ones. But here there is a special combination when you can combine this guy and play them. And they have actually a cool new rule, which is new for the Union, which is triangulation, which basically means if this guy, which is a spotter destroyer, is near someone, this guy gets more torpedoes against. So quite cool. What more do we have on this box? Of course, we're gonna have the John Henry, but it's quite difficult to see the John Henry on this. I suppose this is the head of the John Henry, yeah. Okay, let's have a closer look at it. Yeah, this one. I don't know if it's the head or the engine or the power core, but yeah, it's gonna look quite cool once it is built. Yeah, we can see all the different miniguns that you can put around. The arms, okay, so there are a lot of different pieces. This is a small rocket batteries, so a lot of different little pieces left and right. You can see the arms there, so quite interesting. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it's going to be at the end. We get variations of the different types of the arms and fingers. And what is that? Okay, apparently the robot is from Marseille. Those who knows. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to have this. You can have small hammers like this, and you have also the two-handed hammer, which is very dwarven-like, and there is no way I don't put this on my unit. And you also have, I see, a little escort ship, and it's good. We always like more escort ships, and that is a quite full box, huh? There, it's a sprue, like there is not much empty space around. So a lot of different options, a lot of different things. Even if you don't build the Frontier itself because you don't like to use platforms, as always, it's very good for terrain. And yeah, we really do get a lot of value in this box, in this Independence Battlefleet set. Okay, I think now is going to be the time to have a look at the Independence itself and its different variations. The Frontier that carries the platform, the America, and the Liberty battle carrier. Okay, so we got a lot of things. First, let's start with the structure itself. Cool looking, quite thin, quite pointy, which is quite different from the other carriers or battleships of the Union. I got the other 3 Union ships to compare. This, for example, is the Constitution. And, well, the Constitution is a battleship, but as you can see, it is quite thicker, which means that it does deserve its name of Battlecruiser, this little thing. The Columbia is going to be so thick next. Yeah, the Columbia. yeah, it's quite larger, indeed. But I really like the design of the Independence, actually. And the thickest boy of them all, yeah. The size comparison is quite fun, but we can compare as well with those little guys, and yeah, they go good, actually. And again, if you don't use this for the Liberty battle carrier, you can really use it for terrain to make your own little airfield on a naval base. We also have those things. Okay, this is if you build the variant that carries the platform around, quite good. And this is if you build it as the battle carrier. So you just have to not even glue it. It's gonna be quite easy to magnetize. I think this is what I would highly recommend. This is the version if you want to put the platform on it, and this is the version if you just want to make it as a battle carrier. Just want to get this a little bit closer because really I love the design of the battle carrier. It looks really stylish. The 2 different versions, you have the Independence, which is more combat oriented. It has all the guns here and also there. So with this paddle wheel, you can really pivot and put all your firepower to bear on one side or another. And the America, which is the version I will probably be playing myself, is the one with also the Talon autogyro in the back. And I just love this version of playing the game, and I am pretty sure this is what I'm gonna play. All right, this is everything that you get. Quite a lot of stuff in there. 4 different sprues, so a little bit of everything. You really have a lot of choices. Really like the style, like the very thin and elegant style of the Independence. It does look like a more recent cruiser compared to the Columbia, as you've seen, or even the Constitution. It looks a little bit older. This looks more refined, so really liking the style. And nothing to say about the resin. There is a little bit here, but it's like you can take it away with the hands. So really nothing to say on the resin, like very good quality, a little something here, but we don't care. Here it's perfect, as you can see. Staying a second. I love the little eagles on the side. As you can see, I think they're a little bit more detailed than they used to be. I don't know if you can see. Is it just my eye? I think they're a little bit more detailed. Yeah. So always good to see the resin getting better quality. All right, that is going to be it for today. As always, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps. Give us a comment as well. It's good for us, good for referencing and sharing this video with other people. And it's also good because you can earn an entire battlefleet that I will send to your door. We will determine in September who is going to win and earn this, like by the end of September. So thanks again for watching until the end, and until the next video, remember to keep spreading the love all around. Bye!